I actually need another person here to find out if I'm going to have full throttle. I can only guess. Ooh, something's a little funny. I wonder what that is. Well, it's been a little while, and I don't think I've talked to you guys since around Thanksgiving. But I spent some time out here this last weekend, a good amount of time out here, and look at that. The Dakota interior is all back together. I even have the kick panel down here now. I got everything cleaned up, and yep. This thing is now all wired up and ready to go. So for the most part, this whole rewire and nitrous install is complete. So I'll show you guys a little bit more of what I did. Let me grab a flashlight on the way so you can see. It's a little dark in there. But yeah, we got a lot done. So interior's in, obviously seats in, dash is back in. In case the last time you saw it, it was all torn apart. But now I have a pretty cool little switch panel. And I've got some things here now. So now, first of all, we have our dash that's working like it's supposed to now, which is a good thing. Got the radio working, as y'all can hear that. Now, dash doesn't turn off when I start it. So that's good. Now we got the horn switch over here. This will be nitrous activate. It's not on at the moment. This is, you may be able to hear the solenoid. That's the purge solenoid. And then this one is going to be the bottle heater, and it does work. So we made some progress here. I got a boatload done, and it saved you the misery of trying to film all that because it was just a whole bunch of wiring. So what are we doing today? Well, I don't have a whole lot of things I can do, but I do have a small project that I'm going to try to do today, share with you guys. I've kind of been plagued with chasing idle issues with this thing, and I've got it working now, but it's not ideal, I should say. I've got some settings on the idle that's not real happy, and it has to do with the Holley Terminator X and stuff like that. So I won't explain a whole lot of that unless you guys have specific questions, but I'm having issues with my idle air control settings and keeping the idle happy and some things to that extent. So, and I think some of that is due to this Summit throttle body, which works pretty good, but I think this guy right here is going to work better. So this is a Motion Raceworks 92 millimeter or 90 millimeter, one or the other, throttle body and accessories and accoutrement. And well, this is supposed to be the bee's knees. So we'll get to pulling everything out here in a minute, kind of looking over it, but let me snatch this guy off of here first. Remember, we got a plate in here and I had to use some longer bolts and stuff, but I'm hoping it's kind of a plug and play deal. This is a Motion Raceworks throttle cable bracket, so it's meant for the Icon anyway. So yeah, let me pull this stuff off and then we'll start comparing them. Well, here we go, ladies and gents. Icon 92 millimeter throttle body. It was a little bit on sale for Christmas, and I decided dealing with the work stuff that I just dealt with, I was going to buy myself it for Christmas. There we go, present himself. It's super nice. One solid billet piece of aluminum. I can't say. I think you guys, if you're in the hobby, you probably already know about this bad boy. Now, this is the 92 millimeter Summit throttle body. It is also a piece of billet. It works pretty good. I can't say it doesn't do the job. And you know, this is for Gen 4 4-bolt intake, and so is this. But I don't know. This is just supposed to be a lot better of a throttle body. I'm wondering if it's going to solve some of my IAC issues. So it does have to be assembled. So it comes with an adapter. This is this is the same thing as this. Remember, these throttle bodies can be adapted to have like 90-degree elbows or other things to fit for turbos. So they just say that this is a buy it once for, you know, life kind of throttle body, and I'm hoping that it turns out to be the case, unless I need a bigger one, which at the moment I don't think I'm going to need a 98 millimeter throttle body or 102 or whatever it is for quite some time. Other than that, looking at it, I'm going to have to attach this to this. I'm going to have to put my IAC and TPS there, and then there's a plug that it comes with, with hardware in a bag. That's going to go right there. I'm not exactly sure what that's for, unless it's for like a boost reference or something else that I'm not aware of, because, you know, these ones have it. So looks cool. Let's put it together. Now, just kind of looking over things and deducting what should be what. Looks like this is that plug, like we said, right? Goes in the top. Small screws are going to be for our IAC, TPS, GM style. These screws are going to be to attach the adapter to that, and then these will mount them to your intake. I'm not going to use those, obviously, because I have a nitrous plate in the middle of intake, so I already have screws and studs that we're going to use. So let's get all these guys out, or maybe I'll just hold off for a second so I don't lose everything. Carefully cut into this because I don't want to scratch that billet. I mean, that's nice. Ooh-wee. I think it's going to be somewhat self-explanatory when it comes to putting this thing together. Looks at that. There's even like an O-ring here. All right. So hopefully you guys can see that. There's actually an O-ring on the inside of this, and it fits down in this channel. I'm going to assume this round goes to this round, and it'll all be happy, but it does look like it's a square setup. So I like to use Marvel air tool oil on air tools and other things. And when you got a O-ring that's kind of this large and thin, I wouldn't be a fan of putting it in dry. So just throw a little bit goes a long ways around it. Just a little lubrication. Throw it in. Look at that. Like a glove. Let's tighten it all down. Now I just gotta pull these guys out and put them in here. Well, that wasn't too bad. I did find out something though. I don't know if you guys caught it on the time lapse, but this is the little O-ring that was on the IAC, and it was loose in the other throttle body, and it's really loose in this throttle body. So I changed out the O-ring, and I wonder if that's been a problem for a little while. So maybe that Summit throttle body is just fine, and I was dealing with an air leak. Very, very, very possible. It fits better here, and we're good to go. This thing is sharp. This thing is super, super sharp. Just throw it on here just to look at it, just because I want to see what it looks like. Oh, that looks so cool. Check that out. I dig that. Icon. Okay, we ran into a little bit of a problem, but we're gonna fix that right now. So, again, you guys know that there's a nitrous plate that goes in between the throttle body and the intake manifold, and it's a little thick. It's a lot thicker than you'd expect. You know, it's good 3/4 of an inch to an inch. And well, with the throttle cable bracket, which goes here, and the throttle body, there's no threads to catch onto this guy. So I'm going to. So let's pull that out, since I found a bolt in my trusty bucket, old bolts, and somewhere in there I found a bolt that's gonna work. I don't know if you guys ever removed a stud like this before, but it's not too hard. I've got a couple nuts, kind of funny looking, but it doesn't matter what they look like. A couple nuts. I'll pull the plate off. I'm gonna thread one nut on. Thread the other nut on. Alright, one nut on, the other nut on. I'm gonna tighten them against each other. So I'm gonna tighten this guy, and I'm gonna loosen this guy pretty good, and then I'm gonna try to move the whole stud, which it moves. Double nutting is what I've always called this. I don't know what the proper terminology is, but it's gonna come right out of there like we want it to. Let me see if I can get that top one to work for us. Is that going to be enough? This may be too long of a bolt, but we're going to find out. Threw a couple washers on this guy. I'm going to drop it on the floor, but I think we're going to be fine. There we go. Oh, nope. Need to go through the bracket first. Here we go. Oh boy. Let's see if we're going to need some trimming on the cable or on the deal. I think I'm going to have to file it down some more. Let me kind of get it in place and we'll find out. Be apart. Good song. Good song. Cowboy Mouth. Good song. All right, I got myself in a little bit of a pickle. It's not really that big of a deal. If it wasn't 7 o'clock at night, I would probably just go down and get some more bolts. But the clearance here, as you can kind of see where I barely scratched the damn throttle body, it's pretty tight. So I can't use the stud on this side either. And then I had to take the bolts that I found, which work, and then grind the heads down for clearance. So I'm gonna have to take it all apart again and then put it all back together again. But we're on to something. I clearanced the throttle cable bracket, and it looks better, so I think we're good with that. So yeah, need to tear it all apart again and put it all back together again. So I'll see you guys in a minute, is what I'm saying. A little bit of a debacle. If you don't have a nitrous plate, you won't have to search for bolts. You'll be fine. But everything's on, wiring's out of the way. I've got some work to do now. So I'm gonna have to do a new throttle TPS reset in the Holly. I actually need another person here to find out if I'm going to have full throttle. I can only guess. Ooh, something's a little funny. I wonder what that is. What do I have going on here? Where's my cable? That's weird. It's like hanging up or something. I don't know what that's all about. I'm going to have to look into that too. But yeah, I got to get it started. Before I get started, I need to do a TPS reset so it knows where zero's at. I'm going to do that here on my handheld. Not a big deal. Wizards. TPS auto set. Make sure ignition is on. Truck is not started. And all the way down and back. I don't know what is going on. Something's wrong with that. All right. TP auto set was successful. Let's see if it'll start because I'm probably going to have to adjust the throttle blade. Oh, why is it moving when it starts? All right. Oh yeah, that's a pretty big deal. I think that IAC was leaking because I don't even hear it right now. I gotta let this thing warm up, and then we'll be done. All right. Running pretty good, running really good actually. I think that may have been a big problem. I wonder if it's gonna feel better now because it's not making the noise that it was making before. And I don't know if the throttle body fixed it, but I know that O-ring was bad. What I'm doing is I got the truck up to temp and I'm watching this IAC position here and I'm trying to adjust the screw on the throttle body between 2 and 10%. If it hangs out there, it's good. I just loosened it up a little bit because it's sitting at 0. And now we're getting a little bit of movement. I probably needed to go just a little bit more. Kind of a ballet to do this, but it's never since I put it back together, it's never been this consistent. So now we're between 9 and 10, 11. It's actually not too terrible. I'm gonna try to barely squeeze it a little tighter. Like I didn't move it much at all. Let's see if it moves it on here. Went the opposite way though. Well, I wasn't expecting that. Let me loosen it up some more. Yeah, that's more what I expected. All right. Anyway, it's a ballet, and I'll catch up with you guys in a second. All right, let's recap. I got done last night and kind of shut it down. But we're good. I was able to I was able to get the rubber stretched out to fit over the neck of the throttle body for my speed engineering intake, and it fits great. Everything's in place. Got that bolted down. The crunching that I was feeling in the throttle cable was this guy here. The cable was bent at a different angle because we kind of manipulated it to work with that Summit throttle body. And well, we got it all working now, and it feels, it's smooth as butter now. Greg is actually here, and he helped me get wide open throttle set, so we got that set, and we're pretty good to go. Would love to take this thing out for a drive, but it's raining all weekend, so I don't think we're going to be able to get that done, which kind of sucks. But it's running better than it has in a very, very long time. It's running the best it has since we put the 4L80E in it and put it back together. especially with the Gen 4 intake and stuff like that. So I am 100% convinced that O-ring that was in the TPS sensor was too small. It had shrunken, and it was a big vacuum leak. So I'm gonna have to keep my eye on that. There's some stuff in the Holley parameters that I need to change for the idle. So I'll be doing that here before too long, and then I need to get a couple miles on it, make sure everything's good. Then load the tune for the E85 and the nitrous. Put some E85 in it, make sure that's good, and then maybe make some hits in Mexico around here to see if the nitrous works. So that'll be a good, fun time. So yeah, we can wrap up the Dakota project for now. I should say we're gonna pivot and start working on the Jeep again and try to get this motor and transmission out. Kind of a big update for you guys that watch the channel regularly. Yeah, it's been a while since I put out a video. It's been a couple weeks. And it's been like that probably since beginning of October, and that is because my project went live. And so here's the good news. I'm back to a normal schedule. I got my weekends back. So I'm going to be able to come out here on the weekends and get some stuff done and get some videos back out on a weekly basis. And I usually put videos out on Saturday. So if you're watching it today, good morning. And those that watch it pretty regularly on Saturday mornings, good morning. You know, so I'm going to get back to a normal schedule. Looking forward to that. My project is finishing here, my day-to-day work project. And I'm starting another one here in January, but it's a Monday through Friday kind of gig, so I'll have that time to come back out here and start working on these things again. And hopefully a little bit of extra time, too, if I can get that worked out with negotiations. So we'll see. But I'm excited to finally have this project that took entirely too long to be done, but I am very, very happy with the results. So it's rewired. It's back together. It's got nitrous on it. It's got all kinds of fun nitrous stuff, and we're going to have a ton of fun with it. Other than that, like I said, we're gonna work on the Jeep, but Greg has been very, very busy on the GMC Typhoon. It's kind of hard to see, but we have these really cool billet custom, what do you call them? Billet custom fuel rails. That's what they're called, right? Yeah. Fuel pressure sensor there. We've got a external fuel pressure regulator here. So he's got some fun stuff coming for the Typhoon. He's got turbo tweak chip, just a little bit of things. And if you guys haven't seen it in a while, we've got a new Garrett turbo. It's all Cerakoted 4-inch downpipe or 3.5? 3-inch downpipe. So it's bigger than the 2.25 inch. 2.5. Okay. So we got some good stuff there. He's got a lot of stuff powder coated. New water pump on it, all this new power steering pump and stuff like that. We've got all the fuel line made and ran. We're just working on kind of trying to cobble together a fuel line, a fuel gauge to the fuel sending unit. It's a long story. We'll show you another day. But we're working on getting some of that stuff done. But he's made a ton of progress. And this thing's finally going back together. Injectors are in. Upper intake is on. Like I said, really cool. And fuel rails. And PTFE line all the way back. E85 compliant. Everything. This truck should be a lot of fun when it's done. So he's getting a lot done to it. He's hoping to have it on the road before the end of the year. And then it'll likely go to paint jail for a while and get some stuff fixed, and we're working on that. So I hope to show you some of that here as well. Yeah, we can work on some other projects for a while now since the Dakota is done. Sonoma GT, Bel Air, Gramps is our twin turbo LS Dakota. So if you're new here, basically we got all kinds of stuff to do. Come hang out with us. Please consider subscribing. We'd love to have you. We'd love to interact with you guys. All of those that have already subscribed, you already know you mean the world to us. Thank you so much. And I look forward to trying to get videos out again on a regular basis. So thank you guys for being patient. And we certainly appreciate you guys. And we'll see you next time. Until next time, you know the deal. Y'all be good.